big years in the movie business, and it all benefited moviegoers. You had new and better experiences like Dolby Stereo, larger seats, expanded food offerings, and we were actually the first theaters in Canada to offer Amplisound for the hard of hearing.
Cineplex began a huge expansion strategy into key markets in the U.S. We even owned 50% of Universal Studios theme park in Orlando. We bought the Filmhouse Group in Toronto, which is now called Deluxe.
At the time, we were making really innovative changes to our theaters. We started really focusing on the auditoriums themselves. New technology, larger seats.
Well, we also introduced 252 stays, which really created a value offering like no other in the movie industry.
Home video posed a real challenge to the film exhibition and the whole film community. People were saying, this is going to be the end of cinema.
So what does Cineplex do? We started Cineplex Odeon Films and Cineplex Odeon Home Video, which were the film and home video distribution units.
So rather than accepting defeat, Cineplex saw this great new opportunity and went right in.
Suddenly, films which hadn't performed theatrically were now able to find success in the video market.
Continued pioneering through the 90s, and it was all about making the whole experience better, offering more choices, making it more convenient for our customers to bring them into our theaters.
In the early 90s, we started something called Project Popcorn. This ultimately led to RBOs. Guests could really enjoy an entire meal while watching a movie.
In 1995, we started what became an ongoing trend and what we continue to do to this day, which is getting involved with and supporting the cultural community. In this case, we donated the landmark Imperial Theatre in Montreal to the Montreal World Film Festival.
In 1997, the company began rebuilding its entire infrastructure with new megaplex theaters featuring stadium seating, extensive food courts, video games. Techtown, for example, was a huge revenue generator.
Our focus at Galaxy was to build theaters in small and middle markets across Canada. Every time we opened a new Galaxy, we more than doubled the attendance in that particular town. And most of the ones that we opened really changed the whole movie-going experience in the areas that we built them. We built basically state-of-the-art theaters in these smaller markets, and the thing I remember most is when I was in Cornwall and a guest was standing in line just before we opened the theater, and I asked him, I said, so what do you think of this? He said, dude, this is the best thing that's happened to Cornwall since Walmart came to town. They owned these theaters as the community. It was part of the community and it was part of their experience.
So in 2005, when we were Cineplex Galaxy, the opportunity arose to look at the acquisition of Famous Players.
You know, when I looked at that, I said, this is probably the biggest event for the industry and for the company. It would be a company transforming event.
It wasn't about having market share, it was about being able to do things differently. And having the scope and the size and the scale that we had as a company, it's really set the footprint and allowed us to move into areas like interactive, like e-commerce, things that we wouldn't have been able to do if we were still Cineplex Galaxy.
This way we were able to offer a fantastic loyalty program. We were able to get great data from the guest and actually use that data to improve their experience when they came to the theater the next time.
Really has transformed the business in Canada.
There's no other exhibitor in the world doing what we're doing here in Canada.
And what we're doing is way above anyone else.
We're a very progressive company, and we should know that we're looked that way around the world.
We're really looking at everything we can do to expand the entertainment experience, to make the movie experience better.
We've got the highest revenue per screen. We've got the best concession per patron.
All of us 10,000 employees are doing our part every day, together to make Cineplex the ultimate entertainment experience.